Welcome, everybody, to another episode with my beautiful, talented wife, Emily Cisneros, and myself, Jason Cisneros, to B2X Studio. And we get together, we talk about all things marriage and business. Uh, my wife has her own, I've got my own businesses. We've merged and we're partners in businesses. So it's been an interesting journey, and we've had people reach out to us say, "How do you guys do it?" We're around each other 24/7. We absolutely love and adore each other. It's become a game. We get to play business. We get to play life. We get to play in general. So we thought we'd just put out a few episodes about how we do it and how we think about going very real struggles of owning a business. So today we're going to talk about the mindset, and it's interesting. Emily sent me this clip from the founder, which was the founder of McDonald's, Michael Keaton. He has this iconic scene in it, and it got me to thinking. And it was all about mindset. He said the one thing that makes a successful business owner is one word, and it's persistence. And later on, he goes to say, persistence and discipline are two of the key factors. And I got to thinking about you and I, Emily, and watching you on your journey. I'm sure you watching me on the people that we see with B2X, all the business owners that we're around all the time. One of the consistent things, if I was to think about it, is that the people that are consistently making it, the people that are consistently doing well in their business, they're extraordinarily persistent.
I think cultivating a resilient business mindset is such an important topic because that is something you don't realize you need when you're starting a business. Because most of us start our businesses because we want something different. We've been in a 9 to 5 job or we're working in a cubicle, and we realize that that is not the life we want to live. And so we identify entrepreneurship as a way to live the life we want. And then all of a sudden, you are faced with some alarming statistics about business failure.
I love that you brought it to that angle because, as you know, I've quoted Mark Andreessen. Uh, I can't. It was a couple months ago. I saw him being interviewed, and he said that if you are a part of being an entrepreneur, we call it the merchant class, right? That's been around since the beginning of time. It's we are the ones that make commerce happen. We're the ones that get food to people. We're the ones that solve problems at a massive level. But coming at it from that perspective is to say that if you identify as a business owner, and that is the what you've determined that you're going to be, Mark Anderson says it's almost like you can't not be it. And I think that once you have identified that you are somebody that is going to chart your own course in life through this vehicle called owning your own business, and you settle into that idea, there's no going somewhere else. There is only forward, there is only learning, there is only succeeding with this business because there's no other option. Could you get a job? Yeah, you could, but are you going to be happy? I don't think so. So at the end of the day, once you come to that conclusion, you realize, oh, all right, well, if one of the biggest core components of being successful in business is understanding there is no such thing as quit. And when you understand that, quit goes out the door. It's not something you struggle with every day. It's failure is not an option. It's not something that weighs you down and you have to throw in the backpack every day that you walk down the path. It's more like that's already settled. Now, what do I have to do to be successful with this thing that is as important to me as air, that is much a part of me as my own DNA?
Yeah, I love how you phrase that because to me that was the point of no return. I think I identified where I was growing in my business, and my colleagues and I were all struggling through starting a business, and we all had to make the decision on what we wanted to do when we faced those situations. And all of us were facing situations where we were like, this is awful. Like, this is the worst thing ever. What are we doing to ourselves? And And it really it was awful. There was no, some people, very, very few people, I'd say less than 1% accidentally like hit it big. But the rest of us, we go through an enormous amount of struggle, and it is very isolating. That's a topic for a different day, on that isolation you experience when you're starting a business and the importance of a network. But when I was kind of sharing what I was going through, my friends were sharing what they were going through, we all had to face decisions. Do we go back to being employed, or do we keep pushing forward? And what I had taken away from the Tony Robbins event, the UPW event where you and I met, when he talked about burning the boats, that was the fundamental shift for me, where I realized there was no going back. That was not an option. And I, like, it was a light switch in my brain where people around me were saying, "Do I go back to employment or not?" I never raised that question to myself, because to me, I had already defined in my life and made my decision that I was standing firm in, which was, I am not going back. That is not an option. So the question is not, do I go back to employment or do I stick it out and see how entrepreneurship works? Never was a question again. It was, how do I make entrepreneurship work, because I have no other options. And I'll tell you, when you push yourself off that cliff, you will find a way to survive. And that was pivotal for me. And that was the start of me forming a resilient mindset. That was absolutely critical for me.
I was just wrapping up on your thought. I was thinking as you were talking, most people are like, do I go back to a job? I'm not sure what those jobs typically are, but you went to law school and went and passed the bar, and then got that dream job at a prestigious law firm, and not for me. Like, that's a big decision. And then to go into it, and I know the struggles you had in the beginning with your businesses, and all of the things that you went through, and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking through the mindset that you demonstrated. And I was, and again, we were just dating as we just met each other, actually, as you started to make these transitions. And so I got to watch it from ground zero, from you going to there. So there's no better way than seeing it in real time, in somebody that, we were together for 7 years, and now I think we're in our 8th year or whatever. And just looking back on your behavior and your mindset, there was lots of times when I think you questioned yourself. There was lots of times when certainly the people in your life questioned you. Um, I never questioned you, but and that puts a certain weight. And I think that's what a lot of people who are going to watch this episode, that's what I know. You could be there right now. You've been there in the past. You certainly might be there in the future. But to think back to this episode and just say there is really no other option than for you to follow the path of building your own business, creating your own way, chopping down your own forest, go beating your own path, whatever analogy you want to use. When you get to that place and you just go, there is nothing else, burning the boats, that's the great single greatest mindset I believe somebody can do. Just say, I'm done. There is no other option. I have to make this work. And that puts the target at a different place. It takes out the fact that you're going to wake up tomorrow and go, am I going to do this? Am I not? It just takes it off the table completely, so that all of your energy and all of your effort goes into fighting this battle. And then realizing that you're not really fighting a battle, realizing all of a sudden you're really playing a game. And so once you realize, hey, I'm in a dance with this thing that I have no other choice but to do because it is my DNA, that's another shift, is going from, I can't quit, not gonna, that's not even an option. Can't go back, that's not even an option. So might as well turn this into a game that I enjoy every day.
I love that. I don't think there's anything more that we could possibly add. If anything, I just hope this episode is helpful for people and is a motivation for people to maybe shift the way they are talking to themselves, shift the way they are allowing people to talk to them, and maybe even shifting who they're allowing themselves to be surrounded by. Because for me, those three things changed my life. And this is the thing that you and I, the number one thing that we did to succeed in business. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh, I can tell you our number one tip for going from $0 to $1 million. This is the number one tip that makes you go from $0 to $1. And I'm telling you, that is the hardest dollar you're ever going to make. That from zero or negative dollars to $1, the hardest money you'll make. Then getting to $1 million, that's all fundamentals, that's principles, that's sequences and processes. We teach that to our clients through the Built to Exit system every single day. That's easier than, to me, in my opinion, than that first dollar, because there's so much that has to happen in your mind and decisions you have to make in order to make it. So we hope it's helpful. And of course, subscribe. We post these on the B2X or the Built to Exit YouTube channel. So feel free to subscribe if this is helpful for you. If you want other videos around business principles, we talk about these types of topics on the Built to Exit Studios podcast. We also talk about being married in business, all kinds of things like that. Jason also has his weekly Saturday show live on X, where he deep dives into massively important strategy. When I talk about going from $1 to $1 million, that's his topic that he talks about, deep dives into every Saturday live on X. It's live on YouTube, it's live on Facebook, and it's live on LinkedIn. And you can also catch the replay on YouTube and pretty much everywhere that podcasts are played. So, and of course, you can always email us at info@built2exit.biz if you'd like to chat, if you'd like to ask questions or submit topics that you'd like us to talk about next week or in the coming weeks. We'd be happy to do that. And we also have a free assessment. Jason, you want to chat a little bit about the free assessment that we give to people?
The literal assessment that we've used with $1 million clients for the last 18 years of Anton J. Built to Exit career, that's what we use. So now it's free. You can go there, get an assessment for yourself, look at where you are with your business so you can have a genuine starting point now that you know what that end game is, and start putting things together to figure out if you're getting closer to or further away from your own personal end game.
And I love that that's such a valuable tool for people. We've had a ton of people take it. Again, like Jason said, it's basically a thermometer for your business. We hope you find value in it. www.builttoexit.biz. Feel free to email us, info@builttoexit.biz. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to get constant updates about new videos we drop pretty much every single day. And we hope you enjoyed this topic. We'll see you next week.